Hey guys, it's me, Luke, and I'm officially an adult now, 18 years young, and you know what that means? I can finally watch porn for the first time. Legally. But this is a music review channel, so I can't really do that here. Plus, I'm pretty sure YouTube would get pretty pissed off if I did a reaction video to porn. Lucky us, porn finally started making music. So, let's all give this auditory pleasure rush a listen. Holy f***. That was worse than expected. But how? The audio file was literally named 6ix9ine. Shit, we're talking about the rapper, aren't we?
Yep, we're talking about this guy. Yeah, this guy. Like many others, I was first introduced to Daniel Hernandez or Tekashi 6ix9ine through the song Gummo. For those who haven't heard the song, it's a pretty loud, braggadocious rap track with a synthy beat. I would call the song wavy, but 6ix9ine has this yelling delivery that makes the song more of a banger than something you can chill to. It was this song that made me want to follow his music career. Not because I liked the song, I was pretty indifferent towards it actually, but I found him intriguing for obvious reasons. Sadly, as quick as he came up in the music industry, he fell right back down when he got hit with a racketeering charge in 2018, which got him into some major hot water with, I don't know, literally everyone. But look, I could talk about 6ix9ine all day. We could talk about the massive amount of legal trouble he got into over the past few years, or we could talk about how he had one of the biggest downfalls I've ever seen. But this channel isn't about snitching or legal mumbo jumbo, so let's just talk about the music. I thought it'd be cool to look back at his catalog so far, that being his mixtape and album, and just see if all that fame made up for some good music. Because honestly, I never gave it a fair chance in the past.
I know, I lost all respect for myself too. You don't have to rub it in.
So why not start where it all began, with 6ix9ine's debut mixtape, Day 6ix9ine. Before though, can we talk about this monstrosity of a cover? I know some people won't view this as a big deal, but I'm a pretty big fan of album art and the potential statement the artist can make through it. Sometimes an album cover doesn't have to be much and instead just grab your attention. There have been people I've never heard of, but because of the album cover I started listening to their music. So the album art is important, and I believe every artist should try to make it just right. But it, let's reference Adventure Time. I mean, they literally took a still image from the show and drew 6ix9ine awkwardly standing there just losing his fucking mind, clearly. I mean, you can definitely see the utter rage on this cartoon guy's face. Now, they did get into trouble for tracing some artist original artwork, so when 6ix9ine released the bonus song Gotti for the makeshift deluxe version, Day 6ix9ine Graduation Day, they just replaced the cover art on all streaming services with something a little better. Yeah, some of the colors clash, but the effort was there, so I give it a C+. The mixtape starts with a bang with the song Billy. Well, actually, the song starts with some weird proclamation from 6ix9ine about talking shit and letting your nuts hang. But other than that, the song's actually pretty damn good. It's insanely aggressive and the beat bangs in your headphones. 6ix9ine does his usual scream delivery, but it really works here. I'd be lying if the song didn't get me grooving with my best white guy dance moves. Other than some bad lyrics, the aggression makes up for it and makes a pretty solid opening track. I already touched on the next song, Gummo, but one thing I'd like to mention is 6ix9ine's use of words like blicky and stiffy. And I don't think I need to say what he's talking about.
His dick. He's talking about his dick.
Yeah, I know for some people when he says this stuff, it's just a catchy thing they can chant from his songs. But for me, when I hear him saying all this stuff, it takes me out of the element of the song. It sounds extremely childish. If he was trying to make me laugh, it'd be fine, but I don't get this when he's screaming it at me 2 or 3 times a song in the most serious voice possible. Other than that, 6ix9ine's flow on this track is way more unique than most of his other tracks, so the song definitely stands out there.
You know, I really want to keep this video clean for the kids and all, but I guess 6ix9ine just really wants to talk about his dick. So, for the remainder of this video, I'll refer to it as a blicky. 6ix9ine can suck my blicky.
Yeah, it's safe to say I didn't really like the rest of this mixtape. You know, it's really rare to see it, but somehow 6ix9ine made a 30-minute mixtape that felt too long. Yeah, the aggression is there, and yes, he keeps up this energy for the entirety of the mixtape, but it eventually hits a point where it's no longer interesting. In fact, this hits immediately as the song Rondo started playing. I mean, the track is fine, like it has a fine beat even though it is a little generic, and the features are fine, especially Young Thug, who really shines. But 6ix9ine hops on yelling just as loud, talking about the same stuff he has time and time again. I swear, every song just feels like Tekashi was drunk in the studio, accidentally rapped a different version of the same verse 12 separate times, and copy and pasted each one onto a different beat. It's lazy, and by the time you are halfway through, it's mind-numbing. It really sucks that this is the case, especially for the producers here. Some of these beats, though simplistic, are insanely catchy and are just short enough they don't lose your attention. Instead, when you start a song, you think you're gonna like it, and then 6ix9ine interrupts your enjoyment to make your ears bleed a little bit. All in all, this mixtape is just too samey for me to constantly make returns to it. However, I will give 6ix9ine credit where credit is due, and that's with sticking with his guns. His fans came to him for his aggression from Gummo, and with this mixtape, it was littered with that screaming. So for me, just someone critiquing the guy, it wasn't my cup of tea, but for a classic 6ix9ine fan, you probably ate this up.
Other than that, there's only one other project from Tekashi, and that's Dummy Boy, his debut album that was released days after he was thrown in the slammer. If it's anything like his mixtape, it really can't be that bad. Oh, what the hell happened? Hey, good thing I forgot what happened in the specific time that a coma lasts, because I'm going to talk about that album.
You know, this album actually did pretty well commercially when it was released, but I never actually listened to it. I don't remember it getting hot reviews though, so I'm going into this record nervous to say the least. And before we even listen, this cover is god awful. What's up with 6ix9ine and horrible covers? Not just covers, but anything visual this guy does, like music videos and stuff, are just gross to look at. I can honestly imagine 6ix9ine thinking of cover ideas, looking at his marketing team and saying,
Guys, you know what this album cover really needs? Me pissing a rainbow.
And just look at this track list. Holy features. I mean, this isn't necessarily a bad thing because I can tell 6ix9ine knows he can't carry a song on his own. But I feel like on your debut album, you'd want to show off what you can do on your own. But whatever, let's listen to this thing. The intro song Stupid is actually a pretty alright cut to start the album. Yeah, the lyrics are just the same crap as before, and yeah, he has the same yelling delivery as before, but what sells me on this song is the hook. The hook is literally him saying, "Are you dumb dumb stupid?" And yeah, it's pretty dumb stupid, but somehow this stupidity makes the hook really catchy. As sad as that sounds. It's one of those hooks where you can say it jokingly to yourself, but also say it seriously in the context of the song. That on top of a really silly beat and a weird but fitting verse from a jailed Bobby Shmurda make this song unique enough to be likable.
Fun and Games ends with Fifi.
Yeah, this song is horrible. Not only is the beat painfully generic, especially for Murder Beats, who I actually like most of the time, but 6ix9ine and Nicki Minaj keep this annoying flow for the entirety of the song without switching it up once. Plus, 6ix9ine takes a step back from what made him popular in the first place, and that's his scream delivery. Take notes, kids, that'll be important in a little bit. Instead, he goes with this sort of melodic, calm style that does not fit him at all. He sounds super awkward on this song. And guess what? That's the problem with the album. Instead of sticking with his guns and what made him big in the first place like he did on Day 6ix9ine, he instead goes with the, hey, let's just make hits and only hits approach. Even if you didn't like Day 6ix9ine like me, you could at least appreciate Tekashi for doing what made him big in the first place. He wasn't sugarcoating anything, but here it's like we're in fucking Candyland. Every damn thing is sugarcoated. I could name off so many songs where 6ix9ine is just throwing himself into a different genre with a different artist to make a quick hit. For example, the tracks with Lil Baby, Gunna, and Trife Drew. But the biggest violator of this genre hopping has to be his collaborations with Annuel AA, and most specifically, the song BB.
Fun and Games ends with BB.
This is awful. I remember exactly what I was doing when I first heard this song. I was calmly walking to a class of mine when, oh my oh me, I noticed 6ix9ine was on social media talking about his new song. I then calmly said to myself, today I will listen to a new 6ix9ine song. And I did. And I wish I could take it back. The best way I could describe this song is, imagine the worst autotune singing possible on top of the worst Latin pop dancehall beat you can think of. You getting any ideas? Yeah, it's BB. When I was listening to the album, this was my breaking point. I felt like I had had enough and this song was all to blame. I'm being a little negative right now, so I'll list off a couple things I like about the record. Like I said before, Stupid is alright, but the song Kanga featuring Kanye West sort of has the same energy. It's so painfully obnoxious and in your face that you can't can't help but to respect it. Yeah, it's crap, but it's so crap that you end up enjoying it at some point. It's hard to explain. But in the context of the record, especially after listening to the 2 collaborative tracks with Annual AA, you're most likely gonna tune it out. Same thing with the song Toddy, which is actually a catchy tune at points. This is 6ix9ine's main problem. He's strictly a singles artist and has always been one. Anytime you listen to a 6ix9ine project in full, you are most likely gonna hate it. But if you listen to one song here or there, you might be able to like it just a little bit.
So yeah, that's 6ix9ine's music so far, and I was not impressed to say the least. I don't get a sense of, oh, I want to make good music from this guy. Instead, I get a sense of, oh, I want to make money. And personally for me, that's a really big turnoff. I don't plan on listening to 6ix9ine anytime soon. So with that being said, I rate 6ix9ine's music a haha funny sex joke out of 10. Well, now that the review's over with, I can finally do what I wanted to do from the beginning, and that's watch porn, and for real this time. I'll let you guys know how it turns out. I'm expecting big things. I didn't know they were gonna be that naked.